pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, roll call, Mr. Colvin, please.
Colvin is present. Ms. Franks?
Present.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Mr. Mike Denham? Here. Mrs. Betty Motion?
Here.
Ms. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Howard? Here. Mr. Peruski? Here. Mr. Paul Dunn? Here.
Thank you. Is there anyone for public forum tonight? Moving on, secretarial, enter into executive session if needed.
Madam President, there is a need to go into executive session for personnel.
Any motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I'd like to run your meeting back to session. Second. Is your mics on? All those in favor? Opposed? We are going to return back to public forum. Is there anyone here for public forum?
Please step forward to the mic, give your name and your address.
My name is Rachel Burnsworth. I live at 352 Riverworks Road in Collin Town. My daughter attends Albert Gallatin North. I'd like to pose a question. First, I'd like to encourage other parents to please step up and please voice your concerns. But I'd like to pose a question to the board and ask how many of you have children that are currently attending Albert Gallatin School District? Current children? One parent. I think that speaks volumes for the furlongs and for the cuts that are going to be made. You are here to think about the children. I know finances and cuts need to be made, and that's with any business. But this is about our children's education. Education first. Everything else second. Athletics second. Music second. If these kids cannot excel academically, they're going nowhere. We have enough of that in Fayette County. It needs to stop. It needs to stop with this board, and the board needs to think about the children's education first. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jamie Bennett, and I live at 421 Tomcat Hollow Road. I have 10 grandchildren, 8 of them which go to Albert Gallatin School District. One of them is in learning support. Do you know how many learning support kids you have in the school district? One? Yeah, a lot. And you're cutting learning support teachers? You're going to have 30 learning support teachers of all ages in one class? I thought the whole point of the school board was to take politics out of education. We got a new football field, a new theater curtain, but you're going to cut teachers. It doesn't sound like the kids are coming first to me at all. Do you want us to all pull our kids out of the school district and then you won't have a job? Should we choose to cyber school everyone around here? I mean, I don't understand. How do you expect these kids to get the education that they deserve if you're going to take all these teachers away? No answers? Do you have, and what are your plans for these learning? Are you planning on putting them all in one class, all with different ages, all with different grades? Have you thought about that? The reason they were tested and pulled out of the classroom is because there were 30-some kids in a classroom already and they couldn't get the attention that they needed to learn.
I would like to clarify on one of your points. You mentioned the football field, some of the improvements that we can make. Those are capital projects. The state prohibits us from using those finances on salaries. I mean, all of us here would love to use that for salaries.
In response to that, Ryan, though, the capital fund is almost like a loan. A portion of our budget goes to pay that loan back. So even though once we get those funds, we have to use them for capital projects, if we had not done that, and my understanding and my recollection is wrong, but had we not done the new bond, we would have been debt-free in 2023. So now, because we did the new bond, we're extended the life of these payments on the bond. So had we not done that for things like the football field and some we had to do things
New
like
rules.
repair rules.
We did new
Yes,
rules.
and that had to be done. That had to be done. But I mean, to say that money could only be used for capital projects, well, the money that we're spending to repay that loan could have been used elsewhere. Just to clarify my point.
I would like to say that we can only do what we did with the money, capital loan. Pro-con is the thing that school districts use to build new buildings and do improvements. We don't have that anymore in our state of Pennsylvania. Any bonds that were issued cannot be used for teachers' salary. Teachers went on the understanding that that money we spent on schools, on curtains, on football fields, they could use it for their salary. We're not allowed to do
Well,
that.
where did the money go then for the
We
salaries?
fixed, money goes for salaries.
Yeah. How have you been paying these salaries then? Just by the taxes? Why didn't you raise the taxes so you could keep the teachers?
We have a lot of people who are on fixed incomes in our district, and we do not have.
And we're gonna have a lot more. We're gonna have a lot more, and we're putting these kids through school, and they're not getting the education that they need in this county, or this school district.
I would like to speak about this special education program. I am a special education teacher in another district, and all of these teachers do a great job. And I think the school district is trying to do a really good job with not just the learning support students, but also with all of the students. I think all of these teachers try really hard, and I think we as a board are trying to do the best for the learning support students, for everybody. I mean, I know that's my goal, and I think that's the goal of the majority of people on this board. We want the best for the students.
Well, if you want the best for the students, why don't you try to find other cuts? Why is the first thing on the agenda to take away the teachers? They're the most important part with the children, with the education.
I agree with you, they are. I agree with you 100%. And we are looking for other ways to cut. We are.
We have.
It doesn't-
There are administrative positions, there are support staff. It wasn't just teachers. If you've read the whole agenda, it is more than just teachers. There are administrative positions being cut.
Close to $1 million.
What are hall monitors?
Close
Can you ask-
to $1 million.
Tell me what a hall monitor is.
Somebody goes into the women's restroom, the girls' restroom, make sure they're not in there messing around, controlling the halls, make sure the kids.
We need hall monitors, but we don't need teachers.
We have-
Why can't a teacher do that?
I'm sorry,
Yeah, why can't the teachers could be doing that themselves if they didn't have
listen,
30 or 40
You're out of
kids?
control. You had 5 minutes. We gave you 5 minutes. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bennett. We are happy that you came and expressed your concern. Is there anyone else here for public forum?
Adam Burke, graduated class of 2015, will be sent Brown Plan Road and follow time. We really didn't plan on speaking tonight, but it seems that as a graduate, we're always trying to move Fayette County and the Everett County School District in the correct direction. Many of us are getting higher education degrees. And it seems that we're doing that, but do you see any students here? I don't see them, but they're really not coming back, and that's a problem. But, it's not really an issue tonight. I think that every step we're taking in the correct direction. Unfortunately, by making this decision, we're taking a step in the wrong direction. And I know as we all get on higher education, we see our competition, especially at the bachelor's degree level, even at the doctorate level, we see our competition, even in local high schools. And I have staff at Lecon, and they say, well, you came from Albert Gallatin, you had a weak background. So we're competing with these great students who had great high school educations in and around the Pittsburgh area, and we don't have some of the resources that they have, which is fine, but you're cutting one of the greatest resources, which is your teachers. And that's what we have to bank off of right now, is we don't have all these extracurricular resources and these special tutors and these prep courses that they bring in. All we have is these teachers, and they do their best to make up that gap that exists. So I just find it hard to believe that we can all sit here and say that things are going well. And they are not. Mr. Colbank, I know you understand, they are not going in the right direction. So this was, Mr. Howard. No, it appears to just status quo, sir. I don't want it to be treated as status quo, and it's sure it's not. If this was in anybody's business, any business owner here would be scrambling currently in the situation, and I don't see the scrambling nature that I would like to see if it was my own business or how I feel inside. So, please take that with all due respect, and I just hope that we can bridge this gap and try to get our students to a good level to compete with all other students. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for public forum?
My name is Jeff Committer. I live in 170 Sherwood Road, Seaford. My question is, with the current number in each classroom going to go up with teacher cuts, what are your criteria there?
In some of the classrooms with teacher cuts, you'll have some classrooms with upper 20s, up to 30 would be the threshold. And that right now is some of the classes. The majority of them are somewhere in the teens, somewhere in the low 20s, somewhere in the mid 20s, and there are a few that are 28, 29, or 30.
Now, my children went to A.L. Wilson. They still went to A.L. Wilson. Both of them, one was in kindergarten, one was in third. They both had over 20 children in each class. They had to bring in a first grade teacher halfway through the year last year, and now you guys are looking to cut a kindergarten through fourth grade teacher and go down to 2 classes. That should put over 30 children in each class. Is that correct?
No. The original, when we discussed this a week ago Monday, there were changes in the number of students and life skills and learning support that affected those numbers. So there are 3 positions at A.L. Wilson that we had discussed that are no longer going to be eliminated.
Okay.
So we are eliminating on the table tonight to discuss other positions. And I believe, off the top of my head, there would be positions eliminated, but no elementary teacher is going to lose a job. There'll be other jobs that they can bid on. We have to create and post classroom positions where some of the kids, when they went from 4th to 5th in a couple of the schools, there were only 2 5th grade teachers. We have to add teachers from those 2 5th grades in 2 different schools, so you don't have class size over 30.
Now, on the agenda, it shows, is that a blanket effect on all those teachers, or is it just going to go by per position you're going to go? Like there's a kindergarten, it shows a kindergarten teacher, first grade, second, third, and fourth.
Board members, when they vote, can vote yes or no for each of the positions.
For each position.
Yeah, even if they combine them, they may vote for them, but they'll say which ones are not voting.
I will say with the learning support positions, the possibility of eliminating 2 learning support positions, we're also creating 2 at other schools. You have one school that's losing 23 kids that were learning support that are going to a middle school. So So we're trying to utilize our resources to the best of our ability without having to spend money on salaries that we don't need to. We're trying to make our teachers, the staff that we have now, utilizing those resources to the best of our ability. Our budget, our funding is not ideal. I mean, if you look at the news, read the paper, districts around the state, around our area, are having the same difficulty, some are worse. You know, Woodland Hills, they looked at furloughing, I think 60 or 70 people altogether. You know, altogether, we may have 2 or 3 furloughs at a maximum. We're trying to keep everybody working. We're trying to provide the best possible education to our students. And our school board, you know, they have tough jobs. I mean, they are elected to make difficult decisions. Whenever there's a lot of money and a nice fund balance, and you're getting funding you need from the state, decisions are easy. But these are the most difficult times. I've been in education for over 25 years, and I haven't seen this many districts having the same struggles because of lack of funding and unfunded mandates. So we've been hustling and have been in scramble mode. This is our 4th meeting this month. So, you know, I got home last night after 11 o'clock, after our work session. Back at work at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and still here. And we've been having tense conversations as board members, as administrators, trying to make the best sense and use of every resource we have. And there are things that we do. We have a lot of buildings, too many to be honest, but without plan con, with Mr. Colbank stated, anything you spend on major renovations or new construction to try to help consolidate our district so we don't have too many buildings, you are on your own paying it back. There's no reimbursement. If we decide to build a new middle school to try to get all the middle school age kids into one location, you're looking at $40 to $50 million, and that would all be on our backs if we don't have the money to do that. So we're struggling to keep our schools in good shape, clean, healthy schools, and keep the roofs, and it's difficult. So I do commend the board for the decisions they made and the difficult ones they have to make in the future. You know, and learning support, I have a child learning support in grade school myself, and I know it's a struggle for him. He works hard every day, and we have great teachers. I applaud you all. I have 3 kids who graduated from this district, one who's a doctor now. He did have a great education at Albert Gallatin, finishing the top 7 of his pharmacy school at the University of Pittsburgh. So our kids are competitive. We have great teachers. We got a great district. And I wouldn't be in this seat as a superintendent if I didn't believe in every one of you out there in our community and our teaching staff. These are tough decisions. I haven't slept well in weeks because of what we have in front of us with this budget and the funding that we don't have. So once again, I do applaud all of you because you all are here because you have a vested interest in your kids and their education in our community just like us. These are difficult times, and difficult times are what this board is elected to do to help get us through it. So you may not agree with all the decisions, but we've spent much time and many effort with a lot of people trying to do what's best. And everyone's not always going to be happy. I've come to realize that, but I promise you, we're giving you our best effort. And I do appreciate and applaud you all for being here tonight to show your interest and your vested interest in this district. So thank you for being here.
Is there anyone else for public comment?
My name is Tara Taylor, and I live on 188 Kinley Avenue. My daughter Lainey is a 3rd grade student at Friendshipville Elementary School. Lainey has the diagnosis of dyslexia. Students with this dyslexia need direct, explicit, multisensory, structured, sequential diagnostic, and prescriptive literacy instruction. They learn differently. I am very concerned at the proposal to reduce school personnel. I understand that 1 learning support and 1 3rd grade teacher are to be eliminated. This does not make any sense. What does this mean for our students? 30 students will be in one remaining third grade class. All learning support students in grades K through 5 will be served by one learning support teacher. This will reduce or eliminate the ability of learning support co-teaching in general education classes. How can students with intensive needs, like my daughter, be given appropriate services required by federal special education law through their IEPs when staff is reduced? This decision does not make sense. Already, special education teachers are used to fill in for regular education teachers when there are no subs. They have meetings to attend per IEPs and have to test students other than their own during the SSAs. How does this provide the consistency for the neediest of students to make appropriate progress across the school year? How can best practices be delivered in a packed classroom without the needed learning support? If Lainey were your child, wouldn't you want best practices in place for her? You are in charge of making decisions for all of our district's children. In fact, they are all of yours. You are investing in our future and our country. From the start of Lainey being diagnosed with dyslexia, our school district does not have a multisensory program in place. I have been fighting for that for Lainey's education. Now, in turn, I'm fighting to keep her learning support teacher and for an additional third grade teacher because she's going to be in a classroom with 30 children. To date, there are 30 children that are enrolled for the third grade class at Friendship Hill. It is not possible for her to get an individualized education. So I ask that you reconsider. Nobody here is doubting the quality of our teachers. We all know that these teachers are amazing, and that is why we are here fighting. We are fighting for them to keep on their jobs so that our children get the education that they deserve. That's the forefront. The athletic, do we want our children to play sports? Absolutely. I want my children are both very involved in the school district, in the sports, in extracurricular activities. However, I see a list of all of the rehires of coaches, yet I see the elimination of our teachers. There's enough rec programs available for children to play sports. Education comes first. Thank you.
Based on the comments, and Mr. Page, thank you for pointing out that even though we are on the bottom of page 3 and the top of page 4 on the agenda items are to eliminate the 3 specific learning support teachers, or 2.5 because the third is life skills learning support. But then on page 4 under item G, we've got number 4 and 5 where we're creating learning support positions at AG South Middle School. And then the learning support life skills at AG South Middle School. I do know that the 2 elementary schools where the positions are being cut, those students would go to AG South Middle School. So just to confirm, and I think I know the answer to this, is the decision to eliminate, or the proposal to eliminate and then create them at the middle school, does that follow the number of students that are going from those elementary schools to the middle school?
It's following the number of students that are going from elementary to middle. And when you look at caseloads, there are some teachers in the elementary school that had 20, 23 kids on a caseload at one school. At Masontown and Friendship Hill, they may have had 20 combined between 2 teachers. So that's an example of what we looked at. I did have Mrs. Dunham and Mrs. Bridbich. The principals looked at this. We looked at caseloads, and we're trying to balance the caseload with the number of teachers. So it's appropriate at each school, And I know Masontown, they also have life skills support, autistic support, and emotional support. So those aren't counted in your learning support. Those 3 teachers stayed there. So plus they'll have a learning support teacher that'll have a caseload of about 20 or less. Other schools have teachers with caseloads with 20 or more already. So you look at caseloads.
And obviously this isn't set in stone in terms of if we find 2 weeks into the school year that there's a higher enrollment with people that need those extras. We can always try
If
to.
they need the learning support services, that's why we had to create a position last year at Plava, because their teachers were at maximum caseload. So we had to hire a teacher for the remainder of the year to help out with that caseload. Some of the kids went on to middle school, so there's not a need. There may be a need again this year if teachers at Plava get above their caseload, then we would have to hire a teacher because they can only have so many on their caseload.
And that's something we want to try close.
We're not in a position to hire a person, put them in the school, and wait for kids to get identified. Once we get the caseloads and they're at maximum, then we will have to hire a teacher like we did in the past.
Sir?
Yeah, my name's Gerald Arnold. I live in Main Street, Smithfield. I just want to reiterate that we have a lot of excellent teachers, great principals. You want to cut them. You say that you have our kids' academic, in your hands. But I don't see that. Over the years, you have taken, the shop classes out of the schools, the home ec classes. These kids don't know the basics. You take band off the schedules. So now the students have to decide whether they want to go to band or they want their academic. Well, of course, most of your students are going to choose their academic careers. My question is, where do you stand, as far as you saying that you have, the best interest in our students? When you keep taking from them, put them in crowded classrooms, you're wanting to cut teachers. But then you sit there and say that you're not cutting teachers, they can bid on a different job. Well, that's not solving the problem either. So how do you have their, academic, in the right place?
I said we cut positions.
Right, but you're saying that they can bid on other jobs. I mean, that's not
Yeah,
solving
we also
the problem with the money.
We eliminated some positions, we created a few positions. Trying to balance out where the highest number of class enrollment is in school and putting an appropriate number of teachers with a cap of 30.
But like I said also, we keep cutting all these other classes and these other programs, but yet we have a coach, assistant to assistant coaches. Why do we need all them? When I grew up, we didn't have that many coaches. But we had shop classes that we was able to take. We had home ec to give you the basics of what you need in life. You have band on the schedules.
We have all of that now. Everything
No, you don't.
We got
South does
classes.
not have band on the schedule. They have their choice to come out of an academic classroom to attend band.
The band is at the end of the period during the enrichment period. They have all of their classes throughout the day like everybody else.
But students also come out of their
Instead
classes
of going
to
to
go down
enrichment
for
period,
their band lessons.
instead of going to enrichment period, they go to band, and if they're having trouble with a math or an ELA, then they can go from band to their enrichment like the other students and get help with whatever they need. But it's still offered. We didn't take band away in their band, in their shop. But it's Mr. Drawing a blank on his name, but he's our 7th and 8th grader in his class. He's half a year north, half a year south. So we're trying to do what we can to offer the classes. Whenever some of those classes were taken out of middle school, we go back to right, that was taken out of middle school years ago. That's whenever the state cut budget, funding to schools by $1 billion. And it took us from 2009 until 2016 just to catch up with the funding. So if they're not funding the schools, we can't fund certain programs. We have to pick and choose what we think is best. And that's been years ago, that wasn't in recent.
And also, the kids are picking and choosing. If they are struggling in academics, they're not going to band. They drop out of band because they'd rather have their academic, which I understand that. But the students also love band, but they can't do both because it's not on the schedule anymore. Why do we need an hour of math, hour of ELA, or 2 periods or whatever it is? It's like an hour and a half. Why do we need that? We didn't have that growing up. None of us had that growing up. We had half hour, 45 minutes. That's it. Once you get to past that point, I mean, we can free up some time right there where we can add other classes on the schedule. But we're not doing that. We're wanting to cut more. So you're taking away from our students even more. You're not giving to our students. You don't have their, best, in mind.
I take that, as an insult. We have all of these children and everybody in this district on our minds, every day. I wouldn't be on here if I wasn't concerned about all the children in this district.
I didn't say you weren't. But, I mean, I see all these cuts.
Okay.
And the students are the ones that suffer from
You're
Okay.
And we've used a half hour for public forum, so we are going to move on. However, Mr. Lawson, could you tell me when all of our bonds are going to be paid? When 2026. Okay. And that means that means it's probably going to be time to start relooking at all of our buildings. The things are going to be old, okay? So when we refinance that bond issue, I would love to put this to sleep and rest right now. We refinanced it. We had got that money and we used it for capital projects. That money cannot be taken for salaries. It was used for capital projects. We improved the stage area at the high school. We did the roofing at certain of our buildings. Everyone was all in an uproar about safety, which, as it should be, we did a lot for safety, and we put an all-purpose store in. It was not, as stated in Facebook, somebody stated today that it was $500,000. It was $366,687.06. And I know that's a lot of money, but we used that field as a multi-purpose field. We used it for graduation, we use it for our gym classes, our band uses it, and our junior ROTC uses it other than the football team and soccer team.
Can I add to that, Mrs. Swain?
Yes, please.
And if you had a grass football field, it would take $40,000 a year to maintain.
I would love to just.
And we've gotten, I forget, 15 years out of that football field, so that was $600,000.
And we had, the last 2 years, we've had the most beautiful graduations that I think the school district has ever had, because they've been outside and they've been on the football field.
Our students in the high school tested the bottom 10%, but we had a beautiful graduation, something just.
Why did they test that low? Someone needs to be held accountable. Let's move on.
I'd like to add to our discussion as a reminder to the board and the community that the primary goal of refinancing our debt was to cancel the variable rate in our bonds. And we did that, and then the Fed raised interest rates, and it saved us millions of dollars. Thank you.
And we will be out of debt in the year 2025.
Secretarial. We already entered into executive session if needed. An executive session was held on June 5th, 2019, from 7:25 p.m. to 9:18 p.m. for personnel. An executive session was held on June 17th, 2019, from 6:23 p.m. to 8:20 p.m. for personnel. An executive session was held on June 25th, 2019, from 7:05 p.m. to 9:54 p.m. for personnel, school safety, and collective bargaining. Adopt agenda as presented.
I'd like to make a motion. Last night when we spoke about moving towards a policy where we put our proposed agenda on the school's website when the board gets it, I think the board was in consensus that was something that we could do or move towards. So I'd like to add, I don't know whether we need to do a policy reading or whether we can just directly, the administration does that, but I'd like to make a motion to add an agenda item on that topic.
I think you'd be wise to do it as a permanent policy, rather than directly the policies there.
So do we need, as a procedural issue, do we need to make a motion to direct the solicitor administration to draft that policy?
Yes.
Then I'll make the motion to amend the agenda, thank you, Dick, to include a line item where we are directing the administration and solicitors to adopt such a policy.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approve minutes of the following meeting.
Are you going to add that on the agenda? You can treat it as being passed right now, as a separate item.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned,
Because as long as everybody understands that.
We want you to come to the school board meeting. We want you to watch TV. We don't try to hide anything. I'm glad you're here. You're going to understand what the board has to go through. We have to have a balanced budget. Now we get a big question, are we going to raise taxes? Are we going to go in debt? If we don't take a tax raise this year, God forbid, what the tax rate will be next year. All the other school districts have raised taxes above the index. Everybody in the state of Pennsylvania has a problem because the state does not give us enough money to run the schools properly. Teachers, you do a heck of a job, but the rule says we must have a balanced budget. Thank you.
yeah, we did have a budget meeting a couple weeks ago, there wasn't.
If you're gonna talk, can you talk through the mic so we can all hear you?
We had a budget meeting, was it last week? Because I know this is our fourth meeting and we're not.
We've
But
had budget
there was
meetings.
very few people here, and that's when we talked about the whole issue and how we were going to have to start looking at our buildings again. But there were very few people here for that.
Yeah, one issue actually again is the 26th. Like, my neighbor probably major renovations.
You guys hear better now?
It's still real hard to hear back in the back.
We have a problem, Mr. Adam?
Just move the mics closer, you'll be fine.
Okay. Mr. Adam, we have a problem.
Financial, accept treasurer's report including tax collections for May 2019 and preliminary financial statements as presented.
Okay, bank balance, $8,284,871.60. Total receipts for the month, $7,543,654. Disbursements, $5,479,487.41.83. End of the month book balance, $10,348,783.77. Taxes, total taxes collected, May 31st, 2019, $365,598.62. Total taxes collected July 1st through May 31st, 2019, $11,396,895.90.
Thank you. Any motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President, you skipped item 3F, approval of minutes.
Oh, I asked if I did, and they said.
No problem, you do it.
Let's go back. Approve minutes of the following meeting held on June 5th, 2019 as presented.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Grant permission to pay the following bills and payroll for June 2019. Bills, utilities, insurance, and contractual obligations paid at the end of the previous month in the amount of $2,615,612.23.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Current month general fund bills in the amount of $3,625,819.97.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Accept activity accounts report as presented by building principals.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Award United Dairy the milk bid for the 2019-2020 school year, the lowest bid.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed?
abstain.
I'm abstaining as well.
Due to immediate family relation.
Okay, do I need to have a roll call?
Did you catch the extension? There was another one over there.
Yes, as well.
Seven,
7-0.
okay. Motion carries. Award JK Packing the secondary produce bid for the 2019-2020 school year, lowest bid.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve snow removal bids as follows. Penn, I'm going to blank these. Penn Plus for a 3-year term per 6-inch plow as follows. George Flava at $150, Masontown at $140, Friendship Hill at $130, North Middle School at $150, South Middle School at $200, and AG High School at $400. Cost per ton of salt, $250, and cost per ton pea gravel at $150. Reynolds for a 3-year term per 6-inch plow as follows. A.L. Wilson at $150, Smithfield at $150, Administrative Office $85, and when called, cost per ton of salt $200, and cost per ton pea gravel at $90. Route 21 Stone for a 3-year term per 6-inch plow at Deepert Swing at $95, cost per ton of salt $280. Any motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm staying number 3 on mine for due to a professional relationship.
I'm voting no because I don't like the idea of the 3-year contract. There's never been.
I'm a no also. Same reason.
I believe the motion still carries.
6-1, an abstention on which item? Number 3.
Award band bids for high school, middle schools, and elementary schools for 2019-2020 school year as follows. Foley Music, $29,538.35. Baldwin's, $3,338.21. Washington Music Center, $1,233.15. Total bids, $34,909.71.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Award athletic bids for fall 2019 as follows. Century Sports, $14,353.79. Riddle, $1,400. Total bids, $15,753.79. I need a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Did you, grant permission to pay the following bills through capital projects. K2 Engineering Incorporated, $5,000. Construction drawings and services for high schools, Deepert Swing School, and Administrative Office. John T. Sobrick Incorporated, $16,905. Sewage Project and Administrative Office. 2 Garrett walk-through metal detectors from Markle Supply Company at a PA State Coastal cost of $3,450 each, $175 per unit, shipping for elementary schools. Total $29,155. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Award garbage removal bids to Advanced Disposal at a cost of $6,897 per month for all winter and spring hauling, and $3,092.10 per month for summer recess hauling for a 3-year term.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolved that the Board of Directors of the Albert Gallatin Area School District hereby adopts the general fund balance for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019 in the amount of one of the following options. K1, $54,059,074 as presented, and authorizes that the tax on real estate be levied at the rate of 15.8029 mils, which is an increase of 0.8679 mils on the dollar, or $1.58 of each $100 assessed evaluation of all property taxable for school purposes located within the school district. All Act 511 and other school code taxes will remain in effect at the same rate. Are we voting on these? Read them all. K2, $54,059,074 as presented, and authorizes that the tax on real estate be levied at the rate of 15.4427 mils, which is an increase of 0.5077 mils on the dollar, or $1.54 of each 100 assessed evaluation of all property taxable for school purposes located within the school district. All Act 511 and other school code taxes will remain in effect at the same rate. K3, $54,059,074 as presented, and authorizes that the tax on real estate be levied at the rate of 14.9350 mils, which is $1.49 of each $100 assessed evaluation of all property taxable for school purposes located within the school district. All Act 511 and other school taxes will remain in effect at the same rate. No tax increase. I need a motion on one of these.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt item K3 at 54 million roughly.
No tax increase.
Correct.
I second that motion.
Should
Discussion, if you have any, and then roll call.
I know that we are in a tough spot, but I personally cannot support a tax increase, which would in effect, increase the tax burden for property owners in one of the poorest areas of the state when the board refuses to adopt a meaningful anti-nepotism policy.
I have a comment on this too. Thanks. Since I've been on the board, this is probably the hardest decision to all what we've had to make. You have no idea the hours and the time that's put in to make these cuts, to come up with arguing, bickering back and forth, just trying to find the happy medium here, what we can do. We know this area's got a lot of people on fixed incomes. I can't support the tax rate on this, basically, for personal reasons. I think we could have found more cuts within this school district. So I'm going to vote no on tax rates.
I'd like to make a comment that our district's not sustainable at its current size. We have too many buildings. We've lost a middle school worth of students in the past 8 years. And we need to reduce the square footage that we're maintaining.
I would like to say, I also, for K3, I cannot agree to raise taxes. The sister cannot afford tax increase.
We're going to have a vote on Ryan's.
Yes, that motion was made and seconded, so we voted on K3.
We need a roll call.
Yes. We need to put it on.
Mr. Ruski,
Yes?
Mr. Paul Dunham,
Yes.
Mr. David Howard,
No.
Ms. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mrs. Moser,
Yes.
Mr. Mike Denham,
No.
Ms. Krupa,
Yes.
Ms. Franks,
No.
Mr. Colbank, no.
That motion passes 5-4. 5-4, excuse me.
4. I would like to make a remark now. Glad you came. We have to do a balanced budget. Please come back next year and you're going to be screaming. Okay, unless we do cuts. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to make it to Mr. Pegg and his staff. They are doubling their workload, and they've done so much trying to cut this about 1.2 without hurting anybody. And I think I'm with Mr. Goldbank, if we don't raise taxes this year, it's going to be a lot more next year. I mean, everybody's doing it, and I think it's a must, and I respect everybody's opinion, but I think it's a must.
I would like to commend Mr. Pegg and the administration for all of the cuts they made. They worked really hard. It has been a tough month. I've been here a long time, and I have never felt the, well, no, it's the mood of everyone. There's anger, there's not good things going on. It's just been very, very hard. It has been brutal. It's been very hard to come to meetings, but we all have. I do not believe anyone in this board, the 4 meetings that we had this month, I do not believe that we had not one board member show up. It is tough, and I do agree it's going to be really hard without a tax increase. I think we need to look at other things. I think we need to see what the state comes through with. I think it's very unfair that our state government puts all of the school districts in Pennsylvania in this situation where we have to decide what we're going to do before we even know how much money they're going to give us to budget. I think that's ridiculous, and I've said that on more than one occasion. And I have to agree with Mr. Peruski. There are a lot of people on fixed incomes in our district. There are a lot of elderly in our district, and I just cannot put the burden on them, and it was a very tough decision.
I believe we have to get to our state representatives and get something going on this. They have gambling, we don't get any money. They have this, we don't get any gambling. So why don't they go ahead and do the sales tax across the board where everybody has to pay?
It would solve the big problem. We were promised gambling money, and never came through. And that was going to solve all the tax issues, all the problems.
20 years ago, we had a meeting with Larry Roberts, and he promised us that he would get this sales tax. And it's been 20 years and it still hasn't been done.
We don't have a lot of tax base. That doesn't.
Okay, moving on. Approve resolution authorizing the homestead and farmstead exclusion real estate assessment reduction for the Albert Gallatin Area School District's fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019, under the provisions of the Taxpayer Relief Act, Act 1, 2006, as presented.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Grant permission to make all necessary budgetary transfers for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Grant permission to purchase workers' compensation with Caputo Insurance Agency as broker of record, provided the policy is underwritten by Synergy Pump Insurance Company at a premium of $159,037 and an additional fee for $24,000 for safety loss.
So moved.
And I want to make a comment, I'll second that, and I want to comment, they have brought our workers' compensation claims down by 1.5 points.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, they've done so. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Grant permission to purchase insurance package, property, liability, auto, inland marine crime, school leaders E&O, and umbrella coverage with Utica National Insurance Company at a premium of $123,029, which includes cyber suite coverage with first year free TAP, APP, mobile security, APP option for staff.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the following depositories for the 2019-2020 school year. First National Bank, PSD LAF Fund, Pennsylvania School District Liquid Asset Fund, PLGIT, Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust, United Bank.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. As required by the Affordable Care Act, authorize offering the Allegheny County Schools Health Insurance Consortium, ACSHIC, to uninsured employees for the Albert Gallatin Area School District.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve adoption of the 2019-2020 final Fayette County Career and Technical Institute budget in the amount of $7,126,124. Albert Gallatin School District share is $1,591,498.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Question on motion.
Yes.
Comment, Madam President. As part of the tentative budget for the Fayette County Career and Technical Institute, they have funds in there for additional administrators. We are in the process of making severe cuts in this district. I can't see in good conscience that we approve this budget when they're adding administrators at that school.
Remark to that is that after the budget is accepted, which has been done, that issue has not come before the board. I serve on the board also. And probably, or maybe it will be, we have 12 members, 7 votes get the job, 6 does not. I will vote with Mr. Dunham because I feel there's too much, but it has to come to that. This vote does not mean that this person will get that job. That will come in a month or 2.
So what's the consequence of this?
It means that they are earmarking money in their budget for that administrative position. And the past practice at the CTI has been whenever there's a monetary motion, it's always provided, the comment is it's in budgetary constraints. So she uses the fact that if there's money in the budget for this administrative position, then she needs to spend it.
Well, what Mr. Dunham's trying to say is, with all the other school boards, I sit on that board too. The other school boards, with Laurel Island, Uniontown, Brownsville, ourselves, it's very hard to overthrow them votes. When them schools get together and vote, you might as well scratch right there.
Are those schools having budgetary problems as well?
And they are, for some reason.
I think we need to make a statement though that, you know, we're trying to watch what we're spending. And I'm not in favor of giving them permission to spend when we're not spending that money here. Enough said.
Another point is that the cost to run the tech school is by the number of students that go. Albert Gallatin has probably 2.5 times more than any other school. And I raised the issue that's about the fixed income. The fixed running a school cost that all school districts have to pay for equally. They won't even hear it. It's been 20 years we've been fighting this. I brought it up again at that meeting. I voted no then. But they need 2/3 of a vote. If one school district votes 9, another school votes 9 for it, and 7 more votes for it,
Extra 2/3. 3 other people from another school district can do it, and all 9 of us can say no, but it still will pass. So it's a controversy a little bit.
We get penalized for sending more kids to that.
Right. But our kids do well. Best kept secret in the county is tech school. If you haven't been there, come and see it.
I agree. They do an excellent job.
I used to be on the board out there too, and I think it's the best kept secret around. I wish it was around when I was growing up.
Do we need to do a roll call? I can't remember if we do.
Yes, you have to do a roll call for that. They require a roll call.
My feelings is yes, because of what I've explained to you. Mrs. Franks?
No.
Mrs. Krupa?
No.
Mr. Mike Denham?
No.
Mrs. Mosier?
No,
Mrs. Sweeney?
no, and I believe we need to send a message.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Borowski?
No.
And Mr. Paul Dunn?
No.
1.
It fails, fails 2-7.
I think we should use this legislation as a precedent for looking at our own administration.
Okay, the Albert Gallatin Area School District hereby agrees to participate effective July 1st, 2019 in the Allegheny County Schools Health Insurance Consortium, ACSHIC, as a participating school entity and approves the agreement between ACSHIC and the district. The final buy-in amount currently estimated at $1,249,120 shall be paid in 5 equal annual payments commencing June 30th, 2020. The appropriate officers of the district are directed to execute the agreement, deliver same to ACSHIC on or before June 30th, 2019, and take all other action necessary to implement the district's participation in ACSHIC.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence?
Yes, I have a thank you card from Miss Sandy Lowe and her students to the Albert Gallatin administration and the school board for allowing us to let them use the high school auditorium for their piano recital. It's a card signed by all of our students that performed at their piano recital in our auditorium. I want to thank the Albert Gallatin School District for supporting music and the arts, and the families, the students, their families and friends appreciate, once again, letting them use the high school auditorium. Also, would like to, many of you maybe saw all the cars and people at the high school when you came here this evening. You know, the last couple of weeks, it will conclude this week on Friday, the Reach missions. They have been using our high school for a couple of weeks as a camp, helping qualified members of our community with service projects, doing things such as working on roofs, power washing homes, building ramps, steps, painting, whatever work he's done. There have been about a total of 550 kids in the last 2 weeks camping at Albert Gallatin High School, doing these projects throughout the community. So thank you to Reach Mission. They've been great to work with, and they are helping our community out with many of their needs.
Thank you, Mr. Begg. Solicitor's report.
No report, Madam President.
Curriculum and instruction. Approve high school ATSI plan as presented.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel. Appoint Gary Smerchek as a school police officer. Smerchek? Sorry. A school police officer upon the Fayette County Court of Common Pleas, so appointing him pursuant to section 1302-C of the Pennsylvania Public School Code. His first workday as a full-time officer shall be determined by the Chief of School Security and shall terminate midnight June 30th, 2021 pursuant to the written employment agreement as presented and pending receipt of all proper documents.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Renew the following middle school head coaches for one season during the 2019-2020 school year. 8th grade boys basketball coach Chris Myers, 7th grade boys basketball coach Harold Pierce.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed. This has nothing to do with the individuals or the specific sports, but I cannot vote yes on my understanding, is correct if I'm wrong, that all of these coaches are paid positions. And I know that we are looking at, on the agenda, with respect to athletics on page 4, we're looking at eliminating the middle school athletic directors and the strength and conditioning coaches, but I believe that we should have explored some more cuts in the sports area, particularly considering the amount of teachers and direct support staff that's on the agenda for
Motion carries.
Yes.
Renew the following high school head coaches for one season during the 2019-2020 school year. Girls basketball coach Ellen Hildebrand, boys basketball Shay Fleener, wrestling coach Dwayne DuPont, track and field Jeremy Kiefer, boys baseball Ron Popovich, girls softball Larry Flowers, girls volleyball Marissa Hart, girls assistant volleyball Bailey Powell.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed. For the same reason, and I do want to say, there are people on here that it pains me to vote no against them, but I think that it needs to be done.
No, I think 17. Okay, Mr. Coleman, roll call please.
Paul Dunham,
Yes.
Mr. Paruski,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mrs. Ozier,
No.
Mr. Dunham.
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper,
No.
Ms. Franks,
No.
Mr. Colbank, yes.
Okay, 6-3. Motion carries. Adopt resolution following denoting and or not renewing the necessary number of professional staff effective at the start of the 2019-2020 school term as presented. Any motion?
I have a question. We have two different resolutions that were given to us this evening. Are we voting on one or both of them with this motion?
This is the one involving professional staff. The bottom line, as a result of it, if it passes, there will be 3 instructors who remain on the bubble of being furloughed.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed.
7-2.
7-2. Motion carries. Approve resolution terminating employment due to job abandonment and for reasons stated therein as presented.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Grant permission to eliminate the following positions for the 2019-2020 school year. Kindergarten at A.L. Wilson Elementary, grade 2 at A.L. Wilson Elementary, grade 3 at Friendship Hill Elementary, grade 5 at Friendship Hill Elementary, grade 2 at George J. Plava Elementary, grade 4 at George J. Plava Elementary, kindergarten at Smithfield Elementary, grade 1 at Smithfield Elementary, grade 4 at Smithfield Elementary, learning support teacher position at Friendship Hill Elementary, learning support teacher position at Mason Town Elementary, life skills 1/2 day teacher position at AG South Middle School, learning support 1/2 day teacher position at Smithfield Elementary, health physical education teacher position at middle school level, music teacher position at middle school level, math teacher position at AG High School through attrition, health teacher position at AG High School through attrition, extracurricular activity positions of head teacher at elementary and middle school levels, all extracurricular activity positions of department heads at high school level, all extracurricular activity positions of middle school athletic directors, all extracurricular activity positions of strength and conditioning coaches, buildings and grounds, director of facilities operations supervisor position, truant officer position, 1 technology support position, 4 library aide positions, 1 special education director position. I need a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed, and there's various line items that I'm opposed to.
Okay. I have the same problem.
Yeah, just go through.
So the first set that I'm opposed to are F1 through 9 with respect to the elementary school positions. Based on the number that was given to us, there are going to be several classes at the elementary school level that are going to have 30, close to 30. I think that the elementary school is where we give our students the foundation, the basics. It seems like the last place that we would be, or should be making cuts. I'm also voting no to number 14, the music teacher position at the middle school. And I think that, and honestly, I was planning on voting yes to that. And when Mrs. Kendall explained the effect that was going to have on the entire music program in the district, I can't in good faith vote yes on that. So that's no vote on 14. With respect to number 17, eliminating the head teacher positions at the elementary and middle school levels, I think that we should have examined closer the option of eliminating assistant principals at the high school and the junior high level. Particularly, I'm not saying completely the high school level, but we've got multiple assistant principals there. In the junior high level, we could have relied on our head teachers rather than keeping the assistant principal at that level. I'm voting, that's all of that section.
Mrs. Spence? F13, health and physical education teacher, I'm going to abstain, relative distance cousin. Number 14, music teacher, I also agree with Mrs. Propa. I don't want to see the music position eliminated from the school. I've read interesting studies where music improves math and reading comprehension. Number 23, the technology position. I am not opposed to the elimination of the IT position, but I am opposed to the personnel selection process. I am voting no on 14. I agree with these two that I think we need to keep the music teacher.
Is it my turn now?
Yes. Mr. Brucey, go ahead.
I'd like to vote no to number 17 because I feel that with one of the worst tax bases in Fayette County, we have too many administrators, and we could utilize our head teachers to cover some of the load if we would utilize more of our staff to cover multiple buildings. And I'm also going to go no to number 23 because the selection process for the elimination of that employee is not based on seniority. Thank you.
Okay, I believe that they're saying their motion is here.
Yes, for each individual motion passed. Each individual position passed.
I just have to say I felt that I needed to support the administration what they felt. And I could not vote for one and not the other. No, I just couldn't do that. I kept it all. I went by the administration's recommendations. Grant permission to create and post the following positions for the 2019-2020 school year. Grade 1 at A.L. Wilson Elementary, grade 5 at George J. Plava Elementary, grade 5 at Smith Elementary, learning support position at AG South Middle School, learning support life skills position at AG South Middle School. Create lead maintenance 1 and lead maintenance 2 pilot program positions. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed to number 6. I think that the way that First of all, we paid to advertise for supervisory maintenance position. We had what seemed to be at least a few qualified applicants apply. The creation of these lead positions, and I understand that they're pilot positions, but I also understand that there've already been 2 people earmarked for that, and I'm going to vote no for nepotism reasons.
Okay, I believe the motion still passes. 8 to 1. Grant permission to reduce transportation director position to part-time at $1,050 per month with health benefits effective July 1st, 2019.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed because I think that this is a part-time position that we should not be involved in.
Passes 8 to 1. Grant permission to reassign transportation responsibilities to the athletic director with no pay increase effective July 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Grant permission for the attendance director to absorb all truant officer responsibilities with no pay increase effective July 1st, 2019.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Appoint Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Walsh as the Albert Gallatin Area School District Junior ROTC Senior Army Instructor, pending receipt of all proper documents and executing an employment contract. Compensation shall be equal to the minimum instructor pay as from time to time established by the United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel Walsh shall be employed the appropriate number of days as required by the U.S. Army for salary and reimbursement purposes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Rescind prior appointments to the following extracurricular activity positions. Department heads at the high school level and middle school athletic director position for the following.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hire Vince Belcheck as the business manager, formerly referred to as controller, for a 3-year term ending at midnight, June 30th, 2022, pending receipt of all proper documents and executing an employment contract. Salary shall be $93,000 per annual, prorated for executing an employment contract. Prorated for the 2019-2020 contract year based upon initial start date. Mr. Belcheck will be permitted to transfer 25 unused sick days from his current place of employment, shall receive 20 paid vacation days, 5 personal days, 10 sick days, and other fringe benefits as provided to the district's Act 93 administrators. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Mrs. Mosier and Mr. Mike Dunn. Furlough the Director of Facilities Operations, William Cheslow, effective July 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Furlough the truant officer, Howard K. McCormick, effective July 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Furlough Technology Technician, Carlo Bupone, effective July 1st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. 7-2. Did you get the name? Adopt resolution undertaking non-disciplinary demotions of district administrators as part of a reduction in administrative staff effective with the start of the 2019-2020 school term as presented.
Madam President, that should read school year.
Okay, school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Administrative. Grant permission to add April Reebok, sub-nurse, to substitute list pending receipt of all proper documents.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Grant use of George J. Plata Elementary to Boy Scouts of America on September 12, 2019, from 6:30 PM to 8:30 PM for sign-up night. The contact person is Kristen.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Authorize California University graduate students clinician Brielle Fordyce as an externship. It should be externship. I need a motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Approve lead maintenance 1 and lead maintenance 2 pilot program, MOU as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
I'm opposed for the number of reasons that I spoke of earlier. My understanding is that one of these positions is already been earmarked for school board member Sullivan.
Don't they have to be bid on, Mr. May?
It's a union job.
It is a union job, they do have to be bid on, and there are other people that qualify for the position. So that statement is not accurate.
Maintenance, there is nothing.
But wait a second, to defend myself, I obviously can't say what's been said in executive session. But, I mean, we'll just let it play out the way it's gonna play out and see what happens with it.
I put it
It
in
is just
favor
a
of
pilot
it because it's
program.
gonna save us a lot of money.
It is just a pilot program. Nothing is set in stone for it to be able to ever.
Pilot program in 6 months from now is gonna be what he's been doing such a wonderful job where he's at.
It could happen that way, or it could go wrong. It could go the other way. Adjournment. The next regular meeting will be held on July 21st, 2019, at the first meeting in Chapel. We invite everyone to come.
Excuse me, July 21st is a Sunday.
That's right, show up.
You want to come?
No, because the third Monday is the 15th, and the third Wednesday is the 17th.
Thank you for the
Oh, we can move it till the 30th.
Well, I won't, I'll be out,
We've been here every week.
I know, that's what I mean.
It's the work session is July 15th.
Yeah.
Regular voting meeting is July 17th.
17th.
You want to move it to the end of the month?
I'd be in favor of moving it to the
I'm in favor of moving to the end of the month.
Is it all right if we move it to the end of the month? Excuse me. Is it all right if we move the meeting to the end of the month?
Yeah.
We can move it.
The last, you talking the last week in July, the 29th and 31st, or you want to? July 29th would be the work session. July 31st would be the voting meeting, if you want to move to the last week in July.
Is everyone all ready?